Hello, and welcome to the 2012 edition of Smoke Signals. I'm your host for today's show, Lieutenant Chris Taylor from the LaGrange Fire Department. On today's show, we're going to have special guests from Air Evac, which is our local air ambulance service provider, and also Smokey the Bear and the Georgia Forestry Commission. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Today we have members of the Air Evac team here locally in LaGrange, Georgia. That's going to be talking to us about the Air Evac program and the services that they provide in the community. How are you all doing today?
Good, how are you?
Doing good.
It's good to have you on the show, and we appreciate you being here, and hopefully we'll be able to get with you in the near future and do some other stuff with you here on LGTV.
Thank you for having us.
All right. We have quite a few things that we're going to discuss today, but before we get started, I want to give you an opportunity to introduce yourselves and just kind of tell us a little bit about your responsibilities with Air Evac. And we'll start with you first, Rachel.
I'm Rachel Dillon, and I'm the flight nurse for today. And I've been with Air Evac since August. Some of the things that I do on scenes and on patient flights, just watching the patient's vitals on the monitor, giving medications, okay, along with the vast majority of other skills, and basically an ER nurse and a helicopter.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I guess that's pretty challenging too, because an ER nurse is in a little bit more stable environment where you're flying and going long distances in some cases, trying to provide patient care. So I can see where that can be kind of challenging at times.
It provides a unique challenge. It's a small space to work in. Right. We sit about this close on the helicopter and don't have much more room to take care of the patient. But it's an interesting challenge every day, and but we look forward to it and taking great care of our patients.
Okay, all right. And Blake, how about yourself?
My name is Blake Helms. I've been working in EMS for the past 7 years, been working with Air Evac for the past year and a half. Okay. My job is pretty much the same as her. We work as a team to take care of patients and take them off critical accident scenes, and trying to get them somewhere fast. So we have a lot of the same skills as ground paramedics do. We do have a little bit higher training in critical care, okay, and in pediatrics, but for the most part it's pretty much the same thing. We're just an extension of the ground, getting them to the hospital the same way as they would.
Okay, good. Now since we've been talking about Air Evac itself, could you tell us a little bit about Air Evac and how it evolved in the LaGrange Troup County area, and how long have you been here? Excuse me, Rachel.
Air Evac has been in LaGrange for just over a year. Prior to LaGrange, we were in Columbus. Moved up here to better serve the rural area, okay, that surrounds LaGrange.
As you said, we've been here a year and a half. We saw a huge need coming from the LaGrange area. Previously, helicopters took 20 minutes to get here at least, and that was from other providers. And coming from Columbus, we also had a 16 to 20 minute arrival time to get over here. And we felt that it would be better served to put a helicopter in LaGrange to better access, to give the people here better access to these larger hospitals in Atlanta or Birmingham, Columbus, and get them there quicker than they'd be able to drive there.
Right. I mean, and because me personally, I've been on several incidents where a helicopter was needed to fly to another medical center for trauma treatment and things of that nature. And time is a factor there, and to be able to have you all here locally has reduced the amount of time it takes for a critical patient to go to a facility where they can get additional treatment.
It's a huge factor. We have what's called the golden hour for a lot of stroke, heart attack, a lot of trauma that you go to. From the time the accident or the incident occurs to the time you get to definitive treatment at a hospital, we like to keep it an hour or less. If you're driving to Atlanta, it may just be an hour of driving right there. That doesn't count the amount of time that it takes to, for the incident to happen, you get to help, and then so forth. So, with it taking you an hour to drive, it may only take us 25 minutes to fly. So we've just cut off, 35 minutes there of time before you get to help in a major hospital.
Definitely. Could you tell us about where you're located, and tell us a little bit about the crews that generally fly on a day-to-day basis?
We're located at the LaGrange Callaway Airport. Every day we have a flight paramedic and a flight nurse that's on duty for 24 hours.
Okay.
And we have 2 pilots. We have a daytime pilot that works 12 hours during the day, and then a nighttime pilot that works 12 hours through the night. And we have a house there at the base separate from the helicopter hangar.
Mm-hmm.
And in the house, it's just like any other house. We have a kitchen and bathrooms, separate bedrooms, an office, and we pretty much live as a family for 24 hours. And
kind of like the fire service.
Yeah, a lot.
And EMS.
Yeah, and we work the same schedule, 24 hours on and 48 hours off for the med crew.
Okay.
And when the phone rings or when our tones go off, and we're able to take the flight and go, and we go out as a crew to the helicopter and prepare to go.
All right. Now let's talk about services. What type of services do you all provide in the community?
A lot of the services we provide are the same as most ambulances provide emergency care. We work hand in hand with the local fire departments, EMS, and police departments to deal with people that are sick or injured. The same as the ambulance service. We're just an extension of them. We're there to provide the critical patients the time-saving factor that they need to get somewhere and get help.
Now, let me ask this question. Is there any situations where, let's say, for instance, you go to the scene of an incident, but you may get dispatched, like say for manpower purposes, because you are a paramedic and a nurse, and just to be on the scene to kind of help with patient care and may not even have to fly a patient out. Is there situations that occur like that?
I can tell you, I don't know if you remember last year, there was tornadoes that came through the area, and we were unable to fly due to weather. We did grab some cases of water and some of our medical supplies and tried to go out and help out, because I know there was some neighborhoods that got hit pretty hard. So we tried to get out in the community and help out there, because we knew we couldn't fly.
Right.
But even if we're down for weather, anytime we're requested to help out, we're always willing to go. If a paramedic has to take somebody on an ambulance to Columbus, and they have a really critical patient and they need that little bit extra manpower, we'll come jump on the back of the truck and ride with them to Columbus.
Okay, good. So your services extend further than just arriving to the scene and flying a patient out to another medical facility, but you also can provide services in situations like you stated. If you can't fly, it gives you an opportunity to still get out and be able to help out as much as possible.
And we do a lot of stuff charity-wise within the community. We do a lot of stuff that's with the public. For instance, we do a lot of career days at elementary schools and middle school, stuff like that. We try to raise money for different events. We'll come to the cancer walks, the fly-in, and we try to do a lot of local support for a lot of local charities and local community events.
All right. Now, for services, let's talk about how a person end up having a helicopter there at their exposure to be taken to a medical facility. Can you tell me about the process of how you are dispatched to an incident?
When an incident happens, whether it's trauma or medical, because we do fly both, not just trauma, but heart attacks and strokes also. Fire or EMS on the scene can let dispatch know via the radio, that they need a helicopter. And the dispatch has a direct line phone that rings straight to our base or to our dispatch center. And they let them know a little bit about the patient, and then we get toned out over our dispatch. They let us know approximately where it's at, what kind of a patient it is. And then once we get there and land, Blake and I will get in the back of the ambulance and start working on the patient and doing an assessment, much like the ground crews do. Like Blake mentioned earlier, we have some skills that we can go further with than what the ground crew can, as far as medications and more critical care areas that aren't available to ground crews.
Okay. And even with the dispatcher and with us being on the scene, we are trained and have the capability of knowing what the need of the patient is to be able to call for a helicopter.
Exactly.
And you all rely on us for that. And there will be some cases where, you know, it may be questionable. We get the helicopter, contact them and get them in the air at least. And if you're not needed, we can always turn you around.
That early activation has been huge, I would say, in this community. When we first got here, we came out and we spoke with a lot of the fire departments and police departments about doing early activation. And, you know, whether you need us or not, go ahead and get us in the air. You know, we always say we'd rather be overhead circling and you not need us than you need us and us not be overhead circling.
Right, exactly.
And, you know, so even if you launch us 10 times and you only use us once, you know, that one time, you know, we may have saved 6, 7, 8 minutes or more.
Right.
And it's actually been very beneficial to a lot of people. And over the past, you know, 14 months, us and the fire departments and EMS have had a great working relationship and things have gone very smooth.
Yes, and we're glad to have you here because, like you said, that early intervention and being able to get someone to a medical facility in that golden hour time, it means a lot.
We definitely can't do our job without y'all. That's for sure.
We appreciate that. Approximately how many flights have you all flown in the past year?
We've had over 300 flights in the last year out of our base, and they range from car accidents to heart attacks, strokes, patients that somebody doesn't know really what's wrong, but obviously they need a higher level of care, whether they're far out in the country, away from medical access. But we do more than just scene flights. We also do transfers from hospital to hospital. For instance, if the hospital here in LaGrange has a patient in the ER that was a car accident and thought to be okay and got taken there, but find out they have a critical injury or they need surgery or an intervention that's not available at West Georgia and they need it quickly, they can call us and we'll fly them to a higher level of care facility, either in Atlanta or possibly Columbus, and get them the definitive care that they need to have.
Okay, and real quick, I heard that flights are expensive. You know, you hear word on the street, well, you know, you get a helicopter ride to the hospital, it could be very expensive, but you all have a membership program, and could you tell us a little bit about how that membership program works? Our
membership program, costs $60 a year for a household of 3 or more, and there's different tiers based on how many people you have in your household, but 3 or more is $60 a year. And with that, if you or anyone in your family ever should need a helicopter for any reason, you don't get a bill, which for some families, $60 a year, although it may sound like a lot, when it comes down to if you have to take a helicopter flight, an average helicopter flight is $17,000 to $20,000. So the membership program provides everybody in America in our service area to have access to this critical care transport at a reasonable cost to decrease their stress that is already there with a critical injury, a car accident, heart attacks. So it's a really great program and a really great way for all the people in our service area to have access to our membership and to our services.
A lot of insurances, if they cover it all, only cover, you know, a portion of the insurance or of the bill that comes through. So, you know, you're talking about if they pay $8,000, you still may have a $10,000 bill to personally cover yourself. And I've flown members before, and you know, I've talked to one recently as we were flying this patient. His mother had signed up for it, and he thought it was just the craziest thing in the world. And then here he is on the helicopter with me. You know, so you never know that, you know, but that flight was free.
That's good. That's good. Well, we definitely appreciate the services that you all provide here in the community, and we also greatly appreciate the working relationship that we've established with you all, along with the local EMS services, and we're looking forward to, you know, bigger and better things in the new year. And we'll just thank you once again for being here on the show to provide that information with us as well as with our local community members.
Thank you all for having us. We feel very blessed to be here and very honored to be able to serve the community here. It's a great place to be.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break, and when we'll come back, we'll have more here on Smoke Signals. Welcome back. We have some very special guests here with us today from the Georgia Forestry. And we also have with us that's going to tell us about one of our special guests, Mr. Ray Brundage of the Georgia Forestry. Hello, Ray. How are you today?
Hey, Chris. Everything's going pretty good.
That's good. It's good to have you back again. I see you got your winter wear on today.
That's right. We're getting furry like Smokey here in the wintertime.
Okay. All right. And, of course, you have Smokey the Bear with us here today. And it's always good to see Smokey. Smokey's been around for a long time. And if you would kind of tell us the history about Smokey.
Well, Smokey's been around since about 1946. He was found in a wildfire in New Mexico by the Forest Service, and he was kind of scuffed up a little bit. He was kind of a little bit burnt up, but the Forest Service guys wrapped him up and took him to I believe a zoo in New Mexico and nursed him back to health. And he has been the wildland firefighters symbol for wildland firefighters since 1946. He's getting old, but he's still strong. He's been working out, and
that's good.
And he's carrying on.
Especially, during the winter months. I mean, you got to work out, and having all that hair and all, it has its benefits.
Oh yeah, he goes out on controlled burns, and he goes out there and chops firewood with us, and he helps the community out, letting them know about wildland firefighting prevention and things of that nature. But he keeps in shape. He's been pulling his load. So
that's good. That's good to hear.
The only bad thing about it is Smokey doesn't really talk English. He talks bear. And they sent me to a school out in the Southwest that I had to translate for Smokey. So.
Okay, good. Because I was going to say, I didn't have any bear literature here that we could use.
No, he reads bear and he only speaks bear. And
okay.
He's just a bear.
That's good. All right, so let's talk about the Georgia Forestry Commission right now. What do you all have going on at this time of the year?
Well, things don't slow down. We're not going as intense as a wildfire, but we're still doing things.
Yes.
We're doing controlled burns. We're working with landowners within Troup County and Heard County doing our pre-suppression fire breaks. Okay. We're educating people within the community about wildland firefighting, and also doing controlled burns. We're going into the selling of seedlings. And collecting seeds, because in the wintertime our trees go dormant, and the sap in the trees aren't flowing anymore, or not going real slow. So that's the time to plant trees, is January, February.
Right.
And you can order trees through our agency by going to www.gatrees.org. Okay. And pick out what you want. We have numerous pine trees and oak trees and things of that nature. Some fruit trees. We have trees for hunters that have hunting property. Okay. That have that draw in all kind of species, turkeys and deer. We also provide harrowing service for people that have hunting land. People that like to till up their soil and put certain type of grasses down for the deer. Right. We provide that service also. And it's also on our website with the different charges that we do. Okay. But as always, we have numerous service. We have Forester service where they come out and look at the health of your trees. If you have a problem with the trees like beetles, some people get beetles, the southern pine beetle, and sudden oak death syndrome, and they don't know what it is, or some type of fungus that gets on the trees, you can consult one of our foresters, and he can go out there and identify you and help you solve the problem that's going on with the trees on your property. Okay, good. And of course, earlier we had a chance to talk, and other than just the services that you provide in the community, you had an opportunity to provide additional services a few years ago that we were talking earlier. You would like to share that with us a little bit? Oh yes, GFC, we're a multitask agency. We go out when we're called upon. When tornadoes hit Georgia, we have chainsaw strike teams that go out. The last one went out to the Rome area, and they assisted the DOT and the county governments of clearing the roads of trees and things of that nature. We work with GEMA and the FEMA, and we go to the wildfires all over the United States. And pretty much any natural disaster that happens in the United States, because we're in the ICS system.
Okay.
And incident command system.
Right.
And we have logistics and operations and things of that nature. We're laid out in that format that we could be put anywhere within any type of incident that goes on, any natural disaster.
Right, right.
So, but primarily what we do is we put out wildfires.
Right, and of course, you know, when you talk about wildfires, you know, that can happen at any given time of the year. It doesn't matter what the weather conditions are. They could be worse in one part of the year, and you know, and they can be very challenging, because, you know, when you talk about wildfires, like days that we've had you know, here in the winter months, you know, where the winds are just almost hurricane force winds seem like.
That's right.
And you know, that's kind of uncommon in the wintertime, but when you have winds up that high, that can be very challenging to you all and us as well as being able to try to control fires.
That's right. We have the La Nina and all type of different weather effects. Normally in the wintertime, that's when we collect all our rain in the reservoirs. October, November, December, January.
Right.
But with the La Ninas and the different weather patterns that we're having, sometimes we get a dry spell. And when we get that great north wind coming down and that low humidity, those fires will go.
Yeah, definitely. Now, let's talk about some of the biggest activities in this area that the community does that affect the Georgia Forestry Commission.
Well, as far as what we do at the office, our primary job for the Heard and Troup County, LaGrange area, our primary job is wildland firefighting. We assist the counties within suppressing the wildland fires. But when we're not doing that, we're out helping the landowners do his pre-suppression fire breaks with the timber companies and different landowners that have large amount of trees, and we help them with the controlled burns.
Right.
Also, we have the different landowners or homeowners around their yards. All their trees have shed their leaves and they're collecting up, and the best way and the simplest way is just pile them up and burn them. But you got to do it in a safe manner.
Right.
But the first thing you have to do in the state of Georgia is obtain a burn permit. And you can go on our website at www.gatrees.org and get you a burn permit that way, or dial 877-652-2876 and obtain a burn permit on our automated system.
Okay, and of course, one thing that I want to touch on when you talk about getting burn permits. Now, in the city, it's a little different. You can't call the Georgia Forestry number to get a burn permit in the city. You have to call the local fire department, which would be LaGrange Fire Department, to get a local burn permit.
That's correct, Chris. We have no jurisdictions in the city. LaGrange, Hogansville, and Franklin, they have their own different types of burning that they allow in certain types of area. We wouldn't want the big yellow bulldozer trying to put a fire break out in the city of LaGrange. We'll tear up the plumbing system and the sewers and stuff. So we leave that to you at the LaGrange Fire Department. All the houses condensed together with the smoke and things of that nature. We let you guys handle that.
Right.
When we give a burn permit, we do our equation that morning. Now you can't burn every day.
Okay.
Like I said, we do an equation every morning. We look at the sky, the humidity, the wind, how low the clouds are, things of that nature, and that's how we let you know if you can burn that day. And getting a burn permit is a daily experience. Okay. You have to get one every day.
Right.
Like one day it'll be yes, and another day we might say no.
Yeah, because conditions can change very rapidly.
And it doesn't cost the citizens anything to get a burn permit. It's just let us know that you are burning in the area, because we can only let so many acres and so many burns to go on during the day. Now leaf piles, that's fine, because normally the LaGrange folks and the Troup County folks are very, very cautious with their fires. They stay with them. But there are a few that have gotten out and turned into a little wildfire. Okay. But that was okay. We got them under. The landowner knew what to do, called 911, and we got out there and we put it out. So. Okay, good. And last thing real quick, what are some safety concerns for leaf burning? Well, the biggest thing, you got to pick your site. Make sure you have it in an open area so the smoke can go somewhere. You want to rake around the pile, leaf, kind of make it almost down to dirt. Right. Things on hand you would want is a rake or a shovel and maybe a bucket of water or your hose pipe. and just have that on standby. Before you light it, make sure you get your burn permit, and then go ahead and ignite your pile.
Okay.
Make sure you want to have a natural fiber clothes on. You don't really want to have nothing synthetic. If the accident does happen, you get too close, your clothing won't melt to your body.
Right.
But hopefully you won't have that problem. If it does start to kind of snake out of your pile, don't panic. You can put it out with your water, or you can just simply rake it back into the pile, or as we say, back into the black.
Okay.
And like I said, the first thing you want to do is get you a burn permit. Make sure the wind's not blowing too hard, or like we have what we call smoke management. The clouds aren't too low,
right.
So we have that the smoke doesn't get in between the buildings and on your neighbor's property, and then going in his window and making him mad.
Right, and we definitely don't want that.
No.
All right, well, okay, good deal. Well, we appreciate all the information that you provided for us today about the Georgia Commission and for Forestry Commission, and about the things you all had going on at this point in the year. And we look forward to seeing you all in the future, and hopefully you all have a peaceful first part of the year as far as any fires are concerned.
Thank you, Chris.
And we'd also like to thank Smokey the Bear for being here with us also.
Oh, Smokey loves being amongst the community.
Definitely. And we'd like to thank all our guests for being here today, and we'd like to thank you for watching another segment of Smoke Signals. Until next time, take care.